vocabulary terms. Write it in short form because we have symbols for everything in geometry. All right, so that's what this unit is about. A lot of vocabulary for geometry that we are going to continue to use through all 12 units this year. All right, this won't just be a one-unit thing and we're done, kind of like your algebra topics were. Whatever we talk about in this unit, we're going to continue to talk about through the rest of the unit. I'm only going to give you one vocabulary term today. Tomorrow I'm really going to throw them at you, but the vocabulary term I'm going to give you today is called a net. Some of you may have heard of a geometric net. I'm not talking about the ones the acrobats fall into. Okay, I guess it could be considered the net, but here's what I mean by a geometric net. All right, you have a two-dimensional It's a two-dimensional pattern. Okay, so think about it, just something, a bunch of shapes put together, lying on your desk. What am I going to do to this two-dimensional pattern? I'm going to fold it. That can be folded and after I fold it, I end up with a three-dimensional shape, correct. So it's a two-dimensional pattern that can be folded to form a three-dimensional figure. A little visual for everybody. Bought this box of cereal at the store way back in 2013. Been using it for a couple of years. When I bought it off the shelf, it was three-dimensional. Everyone agree? This is what I mean. Three-dimensional doesn't mean you put on those cool glasses and it comes at you from the screen. Three-dimensional. Anybody recycle in here? Yeah, of course you do, right? Save Mother Earth. So I was done with the box, so I decided to recycle. So I opened it up. And what is in front of me right now? This is a net. This is two-dimensional right now. So a three-dimensional figure that I can open up anyway, and I get a two-dimensional figure back. So I draw this rectangle. I draw these two on top. I draw this one in the middle. That is called a net. All right, this is a net of this three-dimensional object. All good? See what I mean by the net? The net is the two-dimensional version. Real quickly here, quick discussion, because we can't do math for 44 minutes. Cereal preferences in here? We had a very good discussion last class. Right?
Lucky Charms.
Are you just the marshmallow? Pick the marshmallows out and forget the actual healthy part?
Yep.
So I figured, yep.
Rice Krispies.
Old school, like the original, or like the ones where they have the bootleg strawberries thrown in there?
Old school.
Okay, definitely. Good, yep.
Captain Crunch.
Regular, because there's like 80 different brands. Okay, yep.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Nice. That's a classic one, yep.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yep, classic. I'm still waiting for another top one that's come up in every class so far.
Fruity Pebbles.
Wow, that the second time that came up today, and I haven't heard that much.
Cinnamon.
There it is. Usually the king right there. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Others.
Frosted. Is that me or him?
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. Yeah.
Nice.
I will say, the old version of Captain Crunch where it shredded your gums into oblivion.
Okay, I must have missed that era. Yep. Toppings. Anybody put anything on their cereal? Milk. Yeah, I'm not talking milk as a topping. Strawberries.
Chocolate.
Like
Chocolate
bars.
syrup.
Syrup.
Yeah.
Nance.
That's a new one. So really, we're just putting chocolate milk in.
Basically.
Right. Bananas. I do bananas. Yep. Anybody strawberries, blueberries?
Any fruit, really.
What's that?
Any fruit can go in cereal.
Granola.
Dragon fruit?
Watermelon.
I hate to burst that bubble.
I mean, I would be okay with that.
Okay, I know this might be strange for me to ask, but I've had different answers in the past. Anything other than milk?
Like
I've had people get desperate and throw some orange juice in there a couple of years.
Water.
I can go without milk. Do you put the milk? Okay. Do you put the milk in first? Is there anyone here that puts the milk in first?
Me.
That was my second. That was my second question. Is there a milk first person?
Well, I mean, like if you like refill with milk, like
That's fine. Like for the second bowl, but the first.
Now
Yeah,
there's
for
my
the second bowl.
There's my other question is cereal's gone, throw the milk away or slurp it.
Slurp.
Throw it out.
What?
Depends
Nah.
on the
Nah,
milk.
cereal
Nasty
milk.
milk.
Cereal milk is the best kind of milk. Nah.
Like already got
You drink a glass of milk.
Well, if it's like cinnamon toast crunch or like
Okay, all right, good. I will let you know. Just I'm a little bit unique. Anybody do half and half? I roll that way, like healthy cereal with kind of like a sugary cereal. So maybe in my mind it cancels all out, and it's actually not that bad at all. Like Honey Nut Cheerios, and then maybe like Trix or Fruit Loops on top. Definitely bananas, and then a topping maybe you would never think of, but definitely should try before you knock it. Animal crackers.
Oh.
Because let's here's why. You're eating just plain animal crackers, not frosted, plain. What are you gonna have for a drink next to you? Already in there. Done. Mic drop. All right, it's already in there. Try it. Okay. Yep. So I got a lot going on in my cereal. High maintenance cereal for me. All right. Good talk. So let me introduce you first to our first three-dimensional object, which is a cube. Okay. How many faces on a cube? 6. All right. I'm not gonna have you write this down, but if I unfolded this, how many squares should I have?
6.
So keep that in mind. However many faces a three-dimensional object should have, that's how many shapes your net should have. So up there, I'm going to answer the first question for you. Yes, that is a net of a cube. In fact, do you know there's 11 different ways to open up a cube? Really? Yeah, and you're going to find all 11 at the end of this class for the little game we're going to play. Okay, but yes, there's 11. There's 1 out of 11 right there. How to open up a cube and draw the net. Here's what I need you to do. Refold it for me. Fold it back up. And what I want to know is, then I don't want yelling it out. I'm going to give you a minute to work by yourself or with somebody you're next to. If I fold that specific net up, what letters are going to be opposite each other? So for instance, what letter would be on top and then what letter would be opposite on the bottom? What letter would be in front? What letter would be in the back opposite? So I want to know the 3 pairs of letters right now that would be opposite if I fold this net up. So go ahead, think about it, talk with people around you if you prefer. Go right ahead.
B and D. Yeah. Or, wait, not E and D. No. B, D and F. A, C, B, and E. Yeah. All right. Well, that wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it my way. So it's like on the top, left, right.
All right, here we go. Yes. Sure. All right, let's do this. First time. Here we go. Ready? 20. First one of the year. Name, give me 2 letters.
B and E.
Okay, yes, B and E would be opposite each other. Great job. All right, give me another pair, please. 9.
A and C.
A and C would be a pair opposite. And then finally, I'm not going to call on anybody here. Process of elimination, D and F would be opposite. Okay. Quick piece of advice, because they're going to look more complicated than this. If you're ever struggling to see if it's actually going to fold up to be a net, pick what you think the base would be, the bottom. Okay, that's what I always do. I always pick, all right, if I pick E as the bottom, would I be able to fold everything up and not have any missing sides or not overlapping? So try to pick where the bottom is, then fold from there. All right, let's go in backwards now. Let's go in reverse. Here's a pyramid, 3-dimensional. How many faces does it have? 5. So when I open it up right now, you should have how many shapes in your net? Get to it. Open it up, recycle it. All right, I won't call anybody because I don't want to make somebody do this. So anybody want to come on up and throw their net up on the board for me? I'll do it. Closest one, good enough, quick. Don't screw it up.
You want dimensions?
Done?
Yeah.
Are you done? Yeah, you're done.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I do need dimensions. If your three-dimensional object has dimensions, so does your net, and I just stopped them there. I don't need it on every single edge. All right, you can just put the two that are showing. That's good. All right. Any issues there? Drawing your own net, no problem. Okay, let's keep going. That's fade, by the way. Let's have a little honors geometry discussion right now. All right, this is classic. Every year I do this in class. There are slide transitions that you need to be aware of. Okay, slide transitions. There's about, I think, 15 of them. All right, that you need to be aware of. Here's why. Let me go through a couple here. Oh, did you see him? There he is. Okay, that's my boy right there. It's called Promethean Man. Here's the rule in my class only. All right, doesn't probably work for your other classes if they use this. Because it's rare that he comes up, or she, sorry, ladies. All right, it's rare that they come up. All right, here's what happens if the Promethean person comes up. You will be able to, if as a class you can guess what the next slide transition is, I cancel homework that night. If you get double Promethean person, no homework, because that's how rare it is. So if you can, for instance, we'll start this next week. If this was Monday, Promethean person came up. As a class, you'd start throwing out nominations for next slide transition. And then as a class, we would vote. And then I would press the right button, and if it comes up, the one you guessed as a class, then you have no homework. Or Promethean person a second time in a row, no homework. All right, so quickly here, I don't want to interrupt notes too much, but Genie. See how it kind of swooped in from the corner? Genie, everybody, Genie. See how many we can get here. Fade, just fades out. Shatter. Everyone see that? Just blew up. You'll know him. You'll know him by next week. We got, 2 more class days left? Spin. Slide right. Actually, that was wipe. Sorry, you'll see slide right here in a second. That was wipe. Swing. When it comes from the corner, it goes down. Swing. Good. You're picking it up already. Thank you. Curtains. So we know some of them aren't really, classy, hard names. Oh, there we go. Don't even have to say anything. No, that was white. Slide is actually the thing goes to the right coming up, hopefully. All right. See? We're getting there already. Couple more. And we got to get back to notes. Swing. Good. Genie. Yep. We got to find some new ones here. What did you do in math class today? We just named slide transitions. Okay. No. Pinwheel. See it? All of them? Pinwheel? Ooh. Page curl. Curl from the top. Curl. I think we're almost through most of them. Star. Yep, good guys, thank you. Now that is slide right. Everyone see that versus wipe? And then there's another one that goes that way. I think I really just did all the big ones here. Slide left. Slide left one more time, and then we're getting back to notes because I think we've done all the big dogs. Ooh, that was a big. Nice, yes, cube, nice job. I think that was the last big one there. Page curl. All right, all good? So starting Monday, Promethean Man comes up. You know what the deal is. All right, so let's get back to notes. Sorry, there you go, good. All right, next one. This is not a net, but I did want to expose you to a different type of drawing. Anybody who've ever seen this one where you do it on the dot paper? There's actually 2 names. You could maybe have heard of it before. Anybody know either name? Isometric is one. And I think somebody just chimed in with the other one. Orthographic, good. All right, so I want to know, in this isometric / orthographic drawing, how many cubes could you make? Cubes, meaning same size edges. How many cubes could I make here? Not little squares. How many cubes? Cube, 3-dimensional cubes could I make? Do we think we have it? Yep.
6.
I have 6 cubes. Yep, 6 cubes you could make here. Okay, 6 cubes. All right, before we get to our game, I want to show you something on your calculator, a little trick. All right, to make sure that you never ever get one of these problems wrong, because these are tricky here. You've probably seen these substitution problems before back in algebra last year in the middle school, where anywhere I see an x, I plug in -2. Now, I see an x right here, but here's what I'm nervous about, guys. How are you going to do that? -2 times -2 to the 4th. Do I do 2 to the 4th and put the negative in front? Do I take -2 and multiply it by 4 times? And then what happens when I put it in here? Sometimes order of operations gets lost, and that's where you're toast already. You're going to get the problem wrong, and you haven't even plugged in y or z yet. So how can I use my calculator to ensure I get the right value out here? Here's how we're going to do it. Have you ever used this button on your calculator that's to the left of the one? Store. STO, it's short for store. It will store any number in for any variable in your calculator. So let's start with the first variable, x. What number does it ask me to store in or plug in for it? Okay, so you type in the number first, -2. Tell the calculator, store, STO, in for what value? In for what variable? You guys remember how to do that quickly from last year up here? You got your X button, right? When you used to do graphing, maybe. Store that in for X. Enter. Done. So anytime that letter X comes up on the screen, your calculator will plug in -2. Y value. What do I need to plug in? Okay, so ready for store. Now the question is, how do I get a Y up here? Have you ever noticed or seen on your calculator, you got the whole alphabet here in order? Everyone see where the Y is? Right above the 1. So I go alpha 1, 4, store that in for Y, enter. And then what am I storing in for Z? So -6, store that in. Everyone see where Z is. Right next to XYZ. Alpha 2. So anytime the variables X, Y, and Z pop up, it will plug those numbers in. But what do we want them to plug them in for? Ready? 4 times, what's next? So 2x, the calculator is going to plug in -2 automatically. The right way, too. It'll follow order of operations. Everyone know raised to the 4th? We're all good there. How to plug that in? Caret button there. Raised to the 4th. What else do I have? Plus 5. We just talked. The y is right above the 1. 5y minus z, alpha 2. Close it up, all raised to the 2nd. And then I still have what at the end? Your calculator is going to follow order of operations now and plug everything in correctly. Guaranteed right every time. There you go. There's the value. 13,458. Now, I know you're honors. Could you have gotten that maybe if you did it by hand or typing all the numbers in yourself without doing the store? Maybe. Probably a good 80%, 85% chance that you could have, but I'm going with the way that I'm never going to get it wrong. All right, I'm going to trust the calculator's ability over mine. 13,458. Now, a couple questions that usually come up with this when I show kids this. -2 is going to be in for X until you tell it another number. Okay, so that's stored in for X until you say, hey, now store, 12 in for X. Now 12 will be in there. Last thing, remember you guys used to go to Y equals and maybe graph something like 3X minus 2 last year? That has no effect. Okay, it's not going to plug anything in there when you graph. Okay, so it has no effect on what you have stored in there. All right? So nice little trick you can use on the homework tonight. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
So, right. It's storing these values until, we change them. Can we delete the values and make them just not store anything?
Once there's always going to be something stored in there now.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, until you tell it otherwise. Okay. Any other questions? Yep, go ahead.
Don't you want us to like show our work? Or
Well, now that I know I showed you this, I expect you to use it. So I would just see 13,458. Good enough. I'm assuming you used your store key. All right. All right. You ready for a little game now? Going back to our cube. Look at that. Let's go. Yes. Look at that. Slide transition is the cube. Now we're talking about cube. Must be something about 8th period, huh? Must going to be a good year with you guys. We'll see. All right. I told you there's 11 of them. You're about to find all 11 now. Okay? There's more than 11 on here, obviously. Now, let's use my piece of advice from before. How many faces on a cube?
6.
So you better not be circling anything that's got 6 squares, or less than 6 or more than 6 squares, right? So we can automatically eliminate a couple of these. So I will give you plenty of time right now. Talk with people around you, sitting next to. See if you can identify all 11. And yes, here you go. Here's the version you have. There you go. Identify all 11 right now. I will give you plenty of time. Remember, pick what you think the bottom would be, and can you fold it up? No missing sides, no overlapping sides. All right, let's also be real. Here we go. 22.
A3 is correct. A3.
I heard you. Just building the suspense. Isn't that? Yep. Oh, sorry.
Well, at least I got it. Now it's
Yep, A3. That's so ridiculous. Guys are ridiculous. 8.
B2.
B2. Isn't that? 8 again.
All right. B4.
Isn't that? Any of these we want to see folded up? We okay? So far, so good. 4 out of 12. 11, excuse me. 1. B5. That isn't that. 16.
C1.
Yes, that is an at. Yes. Anything we got to pull up? Fold up? Okay. Remember, try to figure out which one's the base. 5. D1, the T. Yes. Good job. 11.
E3.
With confidence. Yes. You're in honors. 16.
E1.
Yes. That one right there, right? Oh, how many we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2 more. 9.
Oh, that's me. D2.
D2. If you want to keep your fingers for the rest of the day, let's stop that. Thank you. Yeah, good job. And we got one more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. 11 for 11. Can they do it? 7. D5. There you go. Yep. All right. Great job, everyone. Great job. Any issues with those? All right. Just so we're clear, I don't write homework up here. I don't write homework on the boards anywhere. At the end of every day's notes is your homework assignment. Okay? At the end of every day's notes, which is right now, so your tonight's homework will be packet page 3. Now, we talked yesterday. You're responsible for 2 things with homework: doing it and checking it. Where do you check it? Where do you find the answers? Did we go over that? On Classroom, yes, on Classroom, they're right there. So check them, please. And I think we're only getting out a couple minutes early today, and class ends at 2:07, so you probably have plenty of time to get this done. Maybe even finish it. A lot more vocabulary terms coming at you tomorrow. First homework out of the textbook as well.